Life is celebration. And every opportunity to celebrate, you shouldn't miss it. Every day should be celebration. So grab every opportunity to celebrate. Grab every opportunity to be grateful. What do you think? Is that a good idea? Very good idea. Okay, how can celebration happen? It has to happen in one's life. Not just putting flowers, having balloons. Celebration cannot happen. It has to happen from within. And what are the qualifications that are needed? Or what are the conditions that are needed for celebration to happen? Have you thought about it? Huh? Come on, come up. Huh? Feeling grateful. You should feel grateful. Then celebrate. Huh? Happy. You need to feel happy. Okay? It's a catch-22. If you celebrate, you are happy. If you are happy, then you celebrate. Okay. Huh? Contentment. Huh? Good. Good company. Huh? Wanting to have someone to celebrate with. Huh? Then some sense of security, If you are fearful, you cannot celebrate, right? And then sense of security. Then what else? Feeling at home, that sense of security. And then being in love. Then good food. Of course, it's part of celebration. Yes. If you're hungry, you cannot celebrate, yeah? Then? Huh? Exchange food and drinks. Listen. People exchange food and drinks. Do you really see them happy and they're in celebration? Huh? Look at their faces. Huh. Huh? What is that? What's your full bargain? Football, okay. Football game. Huh? Sense of belongingness. A sense of purity. When you feel clean, you can celebrate. When you feel dirty, can you celebrate? When somehow, say if you are if you are dirty, you are working maybe in the drainage system or something, and someone says, come join celebration, says, no, I am dirty. I had to take a shower, then I'll come and celebrate. Don't you say that? So what do you need? Sense of purity, cleanliness. Celebration is when you feel clean. What do you think? Correct? Inside and out. A sense of purity inside. People who feel they are worst sinner, they cannot celebrate. Because that guilt and sin inside is eating them up. I want you to remember one thing this Guru Purnima. What? You are a diamond. Maybe it is in a garbage can. So if you feel you are impure, know that you are not. You are a diamond. Diamond can never become impure. Can a diamond become impure? But it's only in the garbage can. And since a diamond is in a garbage can, will you throw it? Will you throw the diamond because it's in the garbage can? No. You'll just pick it up and wash it. Correct? And all these practices you do is just washing the diamond. That's all. It's just washing the diamond. And how long will it take for you to wash the diamond? Do you need to scrub it hard? No. Just a little bit of water and that's it. Maybe a pinch of soap. Soham, 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 and that's it. Diamond is pure again. Few minutes. So, when you know this, Nitya Shuddhoham, I am ever pure. Ever pure. Celebration will not stop in your life. And the moment you feel that you are pure, intrinsically we are pure in nature. We are pure and our heart is pure. We don't wish bad to anybody on the planet Earth or in any other planet. Never wished any bad thing for anybody. So our heart is pure. Then you are love. When you feel yourself pure, you are love. And you are blossom, already you are blossoming. And there is alertness, there is witness inside you. What do you say? Huh? Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Huh? Ever pure. And silence is the scent of pureness. And silence and this understanding, I am ever pure, makes life a celebration. The celebration that comes out of silence is very authentic because it's coming from the depth, because you have used all the soap and water and everything to clean the diamond. And now the diamond is shining, and then that's celebration. And there is genuineness in everything you do. You smile, there is genuineness. Otherwise, have you noticed people smile, but it's not coming from inside. It's a cosmetic smile. Just put on that. And the people welcome, welcome, and that is cosmetic. I'm thank you so much. And that thank you so much is very cosmetic. Just from outside. Because inside there is no silence, there is turbulence, there is sense of impurity, there is sense of sin, there is sense of all that boiling. Human life is worth this celebration. Human life is worth getting rid of all these things that we put in ourselves. It's actually what we do is we put garbage in the jewel box. It's not the jewel, in fact, it's not the jewel box in the garbage. We are putting all the garbage into the jewel box. We simply have to remove them. Then just realize that you are pure being, you are pure love, you are purity. That because we are conditioned to think we are sin and sinner and sinner and sinner, we are so hard on ourselves. When you're so hard on yourself, you don't recognize the beautiful qualities, the beautiful gift that you already possess. We have come, each and every one of us have come into this planet with abundance of beautiful qualities. Abundant beautiful qualities. And somewhere we simply don't recognize this. And Guru Purnima is a celebration where you recognize the gifts, the beauty that you are. Only when you recognize this beauty and all the gifts that you have received, you feel grateful. And that expressing that grateful to the tradition of the masters is Guru Purnima. That's it. And that is the celebration. So we have come out of silence, still carrying the silence within us. And then recognize that you are a diamond. Maybe in a garbage can, but never mind. And that's what has happened world over every day. This doesn't mean that you shouldn't get upset, you shouldn't get angry, you shouldn't do all that thing that you are doing. You don't have to be goody-goody. If you have to scrown at somebody, you can do all that. Whatever you need to do on a day-to-day life, you do all that. But realize that you are much more than the actions that you do. Are you getting what I'm saying? You are much more than your situations, surroundings. You are much more than your thoughts and emotional patterns. You are much more than what you think about yourself. And again recognizing, I am diamond, but unfortunately I fell in that garbage can. Now I am getting out of it and wash myself. So it could be a biannual wash or annual wash, and realize, oh, all that stuff I was holding on, it's really not me anyway. I am ever pure. Got it? What do you say? Is it? Is it hard to recognize or believe this? Hard, is it? That is why all this Kriya and everything, you just recognize, oh, you are something so wonderful. How many of you find it hard to believe that you are diamond and you are pure? Hard? Oh, you need couple of advanced courses. Maybe even one would do. How many of you find it good? You could relate to it. Raise your hand. Oh, some relief to me. Okay, at least some of you recognize what I'm saying. Good. In the beginning of the puja, we chant a mantra. Apavitra pavitro va sarvavasthan gatopi va esmaret pundarikaksham sabahya bhyantarashuchi. It means whether pure or impure, however you are, maybe you have fallen down so much. You have fallen from grace. You have gone really deep down the ditch. But if you remember the being as lotus, the lotus flower is born in mud, but it never sticks to the mud. It's in the water, but water never sticks to the lotus flower. Do you know about that? And if when you remember the being is blossomed, Pundarika means blossomed like a lotus, and Aksha means the witness. Plus the being is a witness. When you know that you are a witness, and you are blossomed, you are like the lotus, being in the mud but never really getting smeared by the mud, attached to the mud, then that brings your inner and outer purity immediately. Sabahya abhyantara. It's not just remember someone with a lotus eye. There are two things. Eye means witness. Lotus means blossomed but unblemished, untouched by the mud. There are two similes. So in the consciousness, blossom, it really remains unblemished, untouched. At the same time, there is witness in it. And it's awake, the awakened consciousness. Remember, the awakened consciousness. Just even remembrance of an awakened consciousness, you feel the purity. It's also so when you feel connected to the tradition of masters or awakened masters, then also suddenly the purity dawns in life. You think of someone whom you love so much, the love gets kindled in you. You think of your enemy, someone whom you don't like, you're such an unpleasant sensation in the body. Every cell in your body is agitated. So our body, whatever we think, whomsoever about we think, that happens in our body. So when you think of the awakened people, you feel the sense of purity dawning within you too. And that is so true. Right? Isn't it? Think of someone who is very greedy and ambitious, and you will get that type of vibration coming up within you. Think of someone very peaceful or joyous. You will feel that same vibration, same sense of joy catches on in your consciousness too. So that's why you should not hate anybody. Whomsoever you hate, that person becomes in your consciousness, occupies a big portion in your consciousness. You hate number X and you keep thinking about that number X in you day and night, and your consciousness start assuming that person's qualities. So whomsoever you think about, you imbibe their qualities in you. So when you think about a blossomed witness consciousness of a higher order, and you suddenly feel the purity within you and around you as well. This is so scientific and so true, isn't it? You know why Lord Buddha's statues were kept for meditation? After Buddha left the body, they started having Buddha statues and Lord Mahavir. Because when you sit in front of Buddha statues, like that you also start sitting like a statue, and then you close your eyes, you feel like imbibing all those stillness within you. This was the original idea of having the Buddha statues. But today it has just become a fashion. Bigger ones and more expensive statues. It's not the statue. You sit like a statue, okay, with a smile on your face, and see and relax, let go all that you are holding on to unnecessarily. And realize I am a diamond, ever pure. So those qualities we imbibe within us. Because everyone's consciousness is so rich of all the good qualities. You don't need to borrow it from outside. It's already there. It just needs a little bit nourishing. It's like the lotus flowers. All the petals are already there. It simply have to blossom. All the petals need to open up and show their glory. Like that, every single individual has these qualities. And Guru Purnima is the day, once a year, that you recognize that. Imbibe those beautiful values, in your consciousness. And the more we are grateful, the more grace flows into our life. So celebration happens with silence, sense of purity, sense of sharing. There were people who are in the Seva team here. They said it feels so good being in a service team, doing some service. Because when you do some service, when you share, the joy is something different. And that's celebration. And if there is any more thing you tell me, I would like to hear from you. Okay.